My name is Brian Jackson. I'm here with Frank Hanrahan from 106.7 The Fan. Frank, we're going to talk about some of the things that the Wizards need to look out for this season. Of course, this summer they got number one pick, John Wall. Is he going to live up to the hype?
Brian, absolutely. The famous song, Don't Believe the Hype. Well, if you're a Wizards fan, believe the hype. Switch it around because John Wall is as good as advertised. Number one pick out of Kentucky. He's got the speed end to end. He's got to work on his shot a little bit and cutting down turnovers, but his game will translate well from the college game. I think he's going to be a better professional. I mean, had a very solid year, obviously, at Kentucky, about 16 a game, 5 assists. But expect bigger and better numbers this year as a Washington Wizard. So I'm believing the hype, and so far so good in the preseason.
Now lining up next to John in that backcourt, of course, is the one and only Gilbert Arenas. He's spent his time playing point guard. Everyone said that he's always been more of a scoring guard, so naturally it should be okay for him to slide over and play the two.
He said that it should be okay, and even Flip Saunders has said that he'll be fine at the two-guard spot. Now, my question is, for how long will he buy in? Because, as you know, in the past, Gil sometimes likes to take over ball games, and it's not that easy. It's easier said than done to say, hey, I'm just going to step back. I'm going to be the Robin to the Batman, so to speak, and that's what Gil has said in this preseason. I'm still interested, rather, to see how Gilbert accepts that role as a number two guy. So far, so good, but it is early.
Right. And also throughout the preseason, Flip Saunders has tried out the three-guard lineup of not only Wall and Arenas, but he's also started Kirk Heinrich there.
Yeah.
Now, with Josh Howard coming back from an ACL injury, he's not expected back until sometime in late November or so. Conventional thinking was that Al Thornton would take over as the starting small forward, but so far we haven't seen that.
No, and we could see this three-guard alignment going. If they're going to push the basketball, why not have three guards? Defensively, it could hurt them a little bit, Brian, because they might have mismatch problems and they can work some guys down low. But what I see at that small forward position is Al Thornton's got to prove himself if he can get healthy in this preseason. Where does Yee fit into the mix? So that at that small forward spot, it's pretty much up for grabs. Flip Saunders has said during this preseason there are some spots that are wide open, and I think that is one of them.
All right, and another spots that may not be open. Right now the Wizards are expecting Andre Bloch to start at the 4 and JaVale McGee at the 5. Both of them showed flashes towards the end of last season when they were given more playing time. What do those guys have to do to show more consistency? Because that's the one thing that Flip Saunders has been asking for out of those two.
You know, and I asked Flip that too. I said, how do you coach that? And he said, well, you really can't. I mean, it's going to come down to those guys' approach day in and day out. And we've heard some other coaches in this town saying, guys need to learn how to be a pro. And I'm not saying that they're not professionals because they're now entering third year for JaVale McGee. And he has got to take that challenge night in, night out. How can I approach each game better? Because, coaches can only do the X's and O's, and how much they can get a guy to commit, that's up to the player individually.
All right, thanks, Frank. All right, once again, for 106.7 The Fan, I'm Brian Jackson, and this is Frank Hanrahan.